You must have known when you wrote your very public Facebook post just how sensitive those words were going to be. I don't have the energy to talk about the racial violence of white people. Most of you refuse to acknowledge your existence, privilege and success as a race is built on the backs, blood and death of people of colour.
You said, when you explained about this, you said white people are racist due to socialisation in the same way that men are socialised to be sexist and heterosexual people are socialised to be homophobic. So I'm a white, straight male guy.
It's not about you.
So basically, I'm like enemy number one. So I'm a racist, sexist, homophobe by your logic.
Sexist, yes. But
I'm not sexist, and I'm not racist, and I'm not a homophobe. So who are you, with the greatest of respect to you, who are you to say that every straight white guy in the world is a... Well, you did. You said white people are racist due to socialisation in the same way that men are socialised to be sexist, heterosexual people are socialised to be homophobic. You are calling straight white guys like me a series of offensive, stereotypical labels.
And this is let me speak instead of speaking over me.
The floor is yours.
OK. So basically, instead of taking it personally, please think about how to be part of the solution.
Why don't you think about being part of the solution?
I am part of the solution.
You're not. You're causing more division.
I'm not causing more division.
You're basically causing more division.
Here's, by speaking about...
By telling all white people they're racist.
Let me speak. And sexism doesn't come from women. So, of course, it's caused by men. This is a social construct.
You don't think women can be sexist?
I don't think that women can enforce misogyny.
What a load of nonsense.
No, because it's all...
You don't think any women can be sexist?
Women don't uphold the patriarchy, Piers. That is not the case.
Uphold the what?
The patriarchy.
What's that?
You don't know what the patriarchy is?
I do, but explain it.
The patriarchy is basically a structure that puts men at the top of power. So... It's not women that enforce the patriarchy, because women don't have anything to...
The five most powerful people in this country currently are women. How does that sit with your patriarchy? They are.
You're saying that the patriarchy doesn't exist.
I'm saying the five most powerful people in Britain are women. So this idea that men still rule the entire planet and are these evil creatures to be removed from power doesn't really stack up with the facts.
But the patriarchy exists.
My point
you are part of the problem, Piers, because you are denying my lived experience.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not denying you anything.
You're speaking over me, for one.
Well, no. Now you're playing your old trick of being the victim. And you played that you immediately came out after you were fired with all the stuff about all the insults you've had and so on and so on. Of course you're going to get insulted. I don't agree with the way they've insulted you, but when you call every white person racist and say we're all in...
My mother's
Well,
white.
I was going to ask...
But when you say, I don't have the energy to talk about the racial violence of white people anymore, yes, all white people, when you call us a bunch of violent racists, all of us, we are going to get annoyed.
Yeah. Racism
you don't think any white people on the planet are currently doing what you've just suggested?
I didn't say that.
By implication, when you say
I'm talking about a structure.
That is what you're saying.
I'm talking about a structure that all white people sit on. I'm talking about society. I'm not talking about literally every single white person. I'm talking about society, and all white people exist within that structure. And yes, I said all white people because all white people have access to the privileges that are...
Really?
That come out of colonialism and slavery,
You think the hundreds of thousands of people on food banks in this country, white people amongst them, are privileged?
They have more
privileges than you?
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Wealthy supermodel?
I did not. Please show me my bank account.
All right. We'll make a lot of money out of this, so... Let me ask you again, do you think that white people on food banks in this country are more or less privileged than you?
I did not say that, Piers. I said...
You just implied that. You said that all white people had privilege.
Let me speak, please. I'm saying that if a person is at the food banks and they're white and there's their counterpart and that counterpart is black, that white person has more of a chance of getting out of that situation than their black counterpart.
Where's the evidence for that?
Because of white privilege.
Really?
White people have more access to housing,
so poor white
to credit...
People, just to clarify, poor white people have a better chance in Britain of getting out of their poverty than poor black people?
Yes.
All of them?
I feel like I'm up against the wall with you, Piers.
No, you're not. What you're up against is somebody challenging you on your public statements, which you've managed to turn into a massive, great story of your poor victimhood. And I'm telling you, now you're sitting here, that I think when you say all white people are racially violent, that is deeply offensive. And I think when you then clarify and say that straight white guys are basically all sexist homophobes and racially violent, I, as a straight white guy who's not remotely racist, get very offended by that.
And this is why there's a problem, because you take it personally.
There is a problem.